Vancouver Canucks are in town to take on Montreal Canadiens under their new management group. Well, partially new management group. And that's it. Hey, everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge. This is the pregame show for the game tonight. And hopefully everybody will have a good time. Uh, sorry, I'm struggling here a little bit. I just came from walking my dog to do this, and I did something else to my knee. I don't know what it is. Anyway, a little bit of pain and a little bit of hockey. I mean, that goes together, doesn't it? Pain and hockey? I think so. So this is the first game of the new direction for the Montreal Canadiens. As everybody should know, Montreal Canadiens hired Jeff Gorton to be their executive vice president of hockey operations. They let go Marc Bergevin, Trevor Timmins, Paul Wilson, and the day before, Scott Mellanby had resigned. So basically all the top management people gone. New people will be coming in. So far, just Jeff Gorton. So it's a bit of no direction at the moment at the top, really. I mean, sort of, going to look at it that way. And then we'll see if this kind of frees up Dom Ducharme. And maybe, are we going to see a different kind of coaching style? Are we going to see something different from Dom Ducharme? Will that tell us something about maybe the relationship with him and Bergevin, or how tight the ship was run under Bergevin? I mean, we'll see. So it should be interesting. I'll have for you a game preview. I've got, a couple of stories here and there, stuff to talk about. And, of course, let's say hi to everybody. Habs Guru, Hockey Fan Guy, Filibuster, J-Fed, and Ed Kelly. How's it going, everybody? Time for a really, really fresh start. Yeah, I mean, it is. I don't know that we'll notice anything today necessarily, but at least for the future, going forward, this team is going to have a new direction. There's going to be a lot of changes. There's going to be players that we like that are going to be sent elsewhere. Expect that to happen. I believe they'll go to pretty much a rebuild here. I don't know to what extent or not, but I think they're going to move a lot of guys out in the next 6 months. Let's put it that way. Less than 6 months. Well, 6 months, say. My opinion. Yeah, well, filibuster there. I see Dom that's Ducharme, being replaced next year. New GM, yeah. I like Darsh. Tonight, well, dang, 6-2 for Montreal, Andy. Okay, just to go on that, I do have something on that. So Jeff Molson had a press conference today. In that, he was asked about the fate of Dom Ducharme. And let me find it, because I got something here. Didn't I bring it up? There it is. Full quote on Dom Ducharme's job security from Jeff Molson. I don't make the coaching decisions. I haven't even discussed that with them. As far as I'm concerned, he's the coach, and he's staying there. Which is basically what you want to hear from him. I don't think they should replace him right away. There's no use to do that right now. You want to get your best guy available. That might not be able, you might not be able to find anybody till the offseason properly. Anyways, let Gorton get here first anyway, make some evaluations and figure what they're going to do. But he later also went on to say that it'll be the job of the GM to decide the coaching staff's fate, which is basically going to be Jeff Gorton. So, yeah. So the coaching staff is on the hot seat, and I think that will include the coaching staff down below in Laval as well, because they did say Molson did say something very important, that they need to get better at drafting, developing. Developing was one thing he said, so I'll just go with that. And that means Laval Rocket, and they do need to get better at developing. I think Gorton will come in and kind of revamp top to bottom to the way he wants it to be. That's what I think will happen. So there'll be big changes coming to Montreal. But considering that they went after a really top quality guy, We've been wanting that in a GM, and instead we get that in the president of hockey operations, which he'll basically be the GM. And I think we're going in the right direction. So we're not getting a French guy for the sake of being French to run the team. They got somebody. They'll bring in somebody to be the face of the team who will be bilingual and can communicate. And I think that might be the best solution for everybody to be happy. Everybody gets what they want. And I think in the end, the team gets what they need, and that's to be getting better quickly. Still going to take a couple of years at least for him to turn things around. 2, 3, 4 years. It's going to take a couple. Let me go back to you guys, and then we'll get to the preview. Yeah, go Habs go, but that's just there because Gorton came from the Rangers, and then everyone's figuring, okay, we can switch around. I wouldn't, I'm not even gonna comment on that right now. First of all, I don't think Romanov and Caulfield are players that you want to be moving out yet. Yeah, Lafreniere and Kravtsov coming in, sure, but I just think that's there because he came from the Rangers. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it, if you ask me. Habs OT win. Let's see what happens on the ice. This could give them a boost. Would be nice. Maybe they'll get their second win in a row. That could be good. Well, filibuster, Weber's contract, if he moves, is going to Nashville. I can almost guarantee you that. Nashville will want to send a draft pick for that contract just to make sure he doesn't retire. So I don't think you have to question that's where he's going to go. Bradley, yeah, I mean, it turns out that way, right? Ducharme extension was a mistake, should have waited. I mean, it's partially, I imagine, some of that's why Bergevin got fired. I think the new guy will come in and will rectify the situation. Seb, yes, you're right. When Weber retires, Nashville has to deal with the what do they call that? And where they grab back some of the signing bonuses over the years because the guy retires early. But that's Nashville will want to grab that contract. I don't think that's a worry. Weber's contract is not a worry for Montreal, in my opinion, at all because of Nashville. They're not going to want to take that hit. Letting Weber retire early. They're going to want to grab his contract, put him on LTIR until it's over, and that's what I think will happen. Or Montreal will just do that, one of the two, and maybe even then still get a draft pick, keep Weber on the LTIR. They still come out ahead. I think that's what's going to happen. One of those two scenarios. How much will we get for Weber's contract? Well, a draft pick. You'll get probably a third or a fourth round if you're lucky, but probably like a fourth, fifth round pick. I would think something like that. It's not going to be big, but it's a pick, and it's cost you nothing to do it. So, don't expect you're going to get a second or a first round pick for it. Come on. But you'll get a, fourth, fifth round pick. I'm going to assume fourth or fifth round. Yeah. Well, I think I said it last night that kind of when they drafted that kid signaled the beginning of their downfall. So I'm sure. I don't know about the Chicago stuff, though. He was exonerated in that he was not mentioned. He was not involved. He was exonerated. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. It may have. I don't know that we'll know that. That's a behind the scenes thing, I think. So, but the draft pick, I don't think we'll see that from Gorton. And I'm kind of expecting Gorton will trade that pick. I'm not sure how he'll see it, but I kind of figure that's kind of what's going to happen. But we'll see. Phil, you're not going to get a first, never mind more than that. Why? Why would they do that? I know what you're saying, but I mean, you can't hold them hostage to it. You'll get a decent pick or whatever. Maybe it'll be a third-round pick. I think that's fair. Kelly, I would think all veterans will get moved. I really do. I think all veterans, save a couple of younger guys, right? And maybe a guy like Gallagher, who they'll give the captaincy to. I think Anderson's a guy that probably sticks around. Other than that, I think almost everybody saves Suzuki, Caulfield, Romanov for me, Paling maybe even, and you build around that group. And I think they break it down to that. So basically, everybody can go. Chris, I agree with you. I just don't know about Gallagher. Gallagher, I think, is good. You considering the contract, I don't know how easy it is to move. You'll take a loss on it. Make him the captain. I think that's what it should. That for me. So Gallagher, I think, sticks. Elio, I'm very happy they're moving forward, and I think we're going to be going in a much better direction. It's going to be very tough to get used to. It's going to be a lot of change happening, new players, old ones going out, and but I think it's the right direction if you want to be a winner, if you want a chance at a 25th Cup. I think you got no choice. Yeah, Kelly, I see Anderson being kept. I would keep him. He's young still, and he's got a pretty good contract. He brings a lot. I think, he's one of those guys you build around. And plus, he's signed for, another 5 years after this one? Well, Phil, we'll have to refer back to this and see who's right and see what happens. But I think 2 seconds is expecting a lot. Hey, Julie, how's it going? Yeah, I think Anderson will be kept here. Besides, right, the physical play as well and all that. Yeah, I don't think that's a guy you get rid of. Yeah, Elio. Yeah, I mean, maybe they will, but it's going to be a tougher contract. It's $6.5 million right now at his age and all that. I think they keep him. He's the captain. He's because he's the heart and soul of the team. Yeah, I think that's a good way to move forward. In my opinion, I might be wrong. They may get rid of all veterans. We'll see. But I think you got to keep some of the I think you got to keep a few veterans around. Hey, Alpo, how's it going? Yeah, I agree with you but it's the same way. I mean, Gallagher kind of plays the same way. He doesn't have the size and everything, and I think it's Gallagher that will get it. In the end, I think it's Gallagher. Yeah, I just saw that go about DeBrusque. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to guess that. It's a new direction. We don't know who's going to be making the decision with Gorton and the gym, but we don't know who that is yet. I don't know. I don't know. Chris, I don't know. Toffoli's got a very tradable contract with 2 years left after this season. It's good money. They're going to be garbage kind of while he's here. I think that's a tradable contract. I think Toffoli is one of the guys that'll go. Gallagher's not heart and soul. He's hot sauce. Remember, we gotta start thinking about this way. The new members, the new leader, the management group, they're not. They have no loyalty to these guys. They can come in, make decisions, and it's not. Oh, well, we love this guy, and they don't think like that. So we got to stop thinking like that. You got to think more like from a business perspective and long term. And I think most guys on this team are going to go. It's crazy the Bruins might not make the playoffs. I go, all right, the Bruins won't make the playoffs. But Galley's kind of burned for the sea, in your opinion. Too much drama with the refs. Yeah, I was thinking that, but I don't know. The people who are in the know and should know that, they all think it should be Galley. That's good enough for me. I'm going to say, you know what? It probably is going to be Galley. So, but I mean, I know I made that point, and I think it's a valid point. But in the long run, especially if they make big changes, I mean, yeah, it's going to be Galley. They need some leadership too, don't forget. They can't all be kids. They have to have some leadership on every team because the kids need to learn from the leadership as well. Galley's a great guy to have around for that. How long? Yeah, I better get into the preview. Okay, I'm going to do the game preview now. That was a good conversation, though. If I could find my my cursor, there it is. All right, let's get to the game preview. I've got a couple things I do want to say. It is going to be a French GM, but we don't have to really worry because the guy making the decisions is going to be Gorton. Yeah, so they're saying that they're going to be putting in there's reasons for it. You need a guy that will communicate with fans in both French and English. And I found somebody put up a really good post for the reason why. It made sense to me. Let's see what you think. To understand the importance of a bilingual GM in Montreal, listen to Molson's press conference as an Anglophone, which I did today. It's frustrating not to understand most of what is being said. And there is a lot. It's not as bad with Jeff Molson. I understand his French more than Bergevin, who speaks faster, and it's a little different because he's French. So, but if it was Bergevin, there's a lot I never understood in the press conferences, and it is frustrating. So imagine being a Francophone fan of the Canadiens and not being able to understand the GM. So you got, I can understand. I think there's way more English fans in the world. So if you take hang on, let me get rid of this. If you take the total number of Habs fans in the world, the bulk of them are English. That's true. But Habs play here in Montreal. That's in Quebec. And you have a big fan base here. And I think it's fair to say that the GM and the coach need to be bilingual. That's fair. I'll give you that. I'm not so sure with the coach, though. But the GM, I'm going to give it to you, especially when you're in a situation where we are going to be now with the executive vice president of hockey operations basically being the guy making the decisions, especially in the early years of his tenure, while he basically trains the new GM, I think. So I'm okay with that. It's not a problem for me. And, we'll see how that works out. So I do understand that the French people who don't speak English very well don't understand what they're saying. English is the language of the NHL, but we are in a special situation here. It's just I don't like the demand of it, But in this situation, it's fine because they found the perfect go-around by having Gorton being the what would you call that? Executive vice president of hockey operations is long. It's a perfect solution to the problem. Why they didn't think about this or think of this years before, I don't know. But this is the perfect solution for the problem of the language here. I don't know how that'll work with the coach, though, because I think that the demand that the coach is bilingual, just even that, being bilingual, could be you don't get the best coach. And please, the French people, don't take that from me saying French coaches are no good, because that's not what I just said. That's not what I said. Okay. Where was I now? Yes, went through that. Here, this is for Jeff, not Jeff Gorton, not Jeff Molson. I saw this and I thought, well, I wonder if Jeff is getting this. Nova Scotia is offering a single-dose Janssen vaccine only to health workers who refuse to get the mRNA vaccine. And I'm thinking, well, it's a single dose. I wonder if Jeff's getting that shot. All right, now for the preview. And stop taking jabs at my old friends. How to watch this game tonight. Montreal Canadiens are hosting Vancouver Canucks. Start time is 7 p.m., 40 minutes from now. 4 p.m. Pacific. In Canada, Sportsnet East, Ontario, and Pacific in English, and RDS in French. That's in Canadiens region. Streaming legally, ESPN Plus, NHL Live, RDS Direct, Sportsnet Now. And streaming maybe not as legally on Sports Surge. That's where I go. I didn't say that, did I? I didn't admit to that. No, somebody else said that. Betting lines for the game tonight. The spread, if you're taking Vancouver, plus 1.5. That's how it gives you. I don't know how that is, but minus 220. How's that? Montreal minus 1.5 and plus 180. Money line. Vancouver plus 110. Montreal minus 130. The over/under is the usual 5.5. If you're taking the over, it's minus 115, and the under minus 105. Let's see what else I got here. Tonight's game, Vancouver 6-14-2, 14 points, 8th in the Pacific. In town to face the Montreal Canadiens, 6-15-2, 14 points, 7th in the Atlantic. So they got the same number of points. Montreal has one loss more. Last 10 games, these two teams, Vancouver 1-8-1 on a 4-game losing streak. Montreal 3-5-2 on a 1-game winning streak. It's nice to see them against a team where you look at their record for the last 10 games, and then you look at Montreal's and you go, oh, Montreal's record looks a lot better now. Hasn't happened in a long time. Tail of the tape. So as we said, the records, I don't have to repeat that. Scoring chances, 49.3% for Montreal, 17th in the league, and it continues to slowly go down. 48.1% for Vancouver, 23rd. Goals per game, 2.35 for Montreal, 28th. 2.27 for Vancouver, 29th. Goals against per game, 3.61 for Montreal, 31st, and 3.27 for Vancouver, 27th. Power play percentage, 12.9% for Montreal, 29th. And speaking of things that keep going down, not just somebody's Johnson, but their power play. Vancouver, 16% even, 23rd. PK percentage, 68.6%. Putrid for Montreal, 29th. And then even worse, 62.3% for Vancouver. That is last in the league, 32nd. Their head-to-head record last season, 6-0-3 for Montreal, 3-5-1 for Vancouver. So, I mean, this is a team, if you look at those numbers, Montreal should be able to beat. Just should be able to. Shots on goal per game, and I think these stats are reversed. They always are. I doubt they've changed them, so I'm going to give you the other number. Shots on goal per game for Vancouver, I believe that's Vancouver, 31.9. For Montreal, 32.9. Shots allowed per game for Vancouver, 30. No, I'm going to give that was shots allowed per game. Shots on goal per game now are 33.6 for Vancouver and 30 for Montreal. I've checked on this numerous times, 2 years in a row. They always get that number reversed and they never fix it. So I'm going to assume that it's still that way. Sorry, guys, I'm in a lot of pain today. I was walking my dog just before this and walking, and all of a sudden something went, not snap, but I heard it click really bad and it hurt a lot. So I think I might have tore it a little bit more on the left side than it was. So bear with me, and my painkillers are just starting to kick in because I need them. Next up, players to watch last 5 games for Carolina. I'm going to say Carolina. Vancouver, Connor Garland, 2 points, 2 goals. Chiasson, 2 assists, and Burrows, a +1 for Montreal. Toffoli, 6 points, quietly 6 points in the last 5 games. Anderson, 3 goals. Toffoli, 4 assists among those 6 points. And Dvorak, a +4. So Dvorak getting a little better on the defensive side. Goalies tonight, I have no idea, but I'm going to assume for Montreal, Allen, 5-9-1 with a 302 goals against and a 902 save percentage with 2 shutouts. On the other side, I have 0 idea. I'm going to say Demko because why not? 6-1-0. 6-1-0. Do you see 6-1-0 there? I don't know. I see 6-10-1. .307 goals against and a .904 save percentage. So it's partially an assumption. The team leaders in goals, JT Miller for Vancouver, 7 goals. Josh Anderson for Montreal, 7 goals. Points leader, JT Miller, 19. Nick Suzuki, 15. Average time on ice, Quinn Hughes, 24 minutes, 36 seconds. And Jeff Petrie, 23:31. And wins, Demko with 6, Allen with 5. This is called current line. Let's see what we can use from there. Home record for Montreal, 4-6-1. Away record for Vancouver, 3-8-1. Record versus the spread, Vancouver is 9-12. Montreal, 9-14. Record versus over-under, Vancouver, 7-13-1. Montreal, 13-10-0. Record versus the opponent over the last 3 seasons, Vancouver, 4-6-1. Montreal, 7-0-4. They have not lost in regulation to Vancouver in the last 3 seasons. Last 10 games, I gave that. Don't need to do that again. Last 10 games versus the spread. 2-8-0 for Vancouver, 5-5-0 for Montreal. And last 10 games versus over-under, 4-5-1 for Vancouver, 6-4-0 for Montreal. Bottom of the league. Last 10. Bottom 10, LA Kings, the Flyers, which I'm surprised. I thought they'd be better. Buffalo, not surprised. Chicago, not surprised. Seattle, actually a little bit surprised, but not totally. Vancouver, not surprised. Montreal, I will say surprised, but not, because I know intimately how they've been playing. New York Islanders, big surprise, but they're having a lot of difficulty with COVID. I don't know the reason for the rest of it, but and Arizona, no surprise. They're rebuilding. They've sold off everything pretty much, and it's not a surprise. And there you go. That's the bottom 10. And the last thing is the lineups. Montreal's lineup tonight, apparently. Suzuki in between Drouin and Caulfield. Dvorak in between Toffoli and Anderson. Evans in between Lehkonen and Gallagher. And Paling centering Pezzetta and Armia. Sherratt and Petrie, first pairing. Romanov and Savard, second pairing. Niku and Norlinder, third pairing. I believe Weidman, I got it down there. Weidman is out. Jake Allen is starting. Let me remove that banner. So the injured, Paquette scratched. Kulak, lower body. Mike Hoffman, upper body. Perreault, eye, but he's close to coming back, Perreault. Edmondson, undisclosed. And Chris Weidman, upper body injury. That's all I know. So he's out with that. Next is the Canucks lineup. Horvat centering Pearson and Garland. JT Miller centering Hoglander and Besser. Pedersen centering Dowling and Podkolzin. And Dickinson centering Mott and Chiasson. Ekman Larson and Myers, first pair. Hughes and Shen, second pair. Burrows and Pullman, third pair. Demko as the starter. So I guess I was right. Scratched Hunt and Lamico. And the injured guys are Sutter. It says illness. Highmore, upper body. And Brady Keeper is leg. That's the preview. Thank you guys for the patience. And let's see what you guys have to say about my preview. Let's see where I left off. Chris says, that point that guys are unmovable is done. All heads are choppable. I think that's true more so than it was, obviously, before this. But I still think the guy's going to want to probably keep a few of the guys, the young guys. I think anybody over, the age of 25 might be, I think there's a few guys you keep, and it's almost open season on anybody else. Bergie's gone. I'm happy now. Ever since PK trade, I wanted him gone. Not because of the trade, but because he told PK the day before the trade he was going nowhere. Then he found out from his sister. Yeah, kind of shitty. So it makes you think, because apparently Bergevin was kind of not happy learning about him, like everything that was happening on social media. But I mean, look, he's done it before to other people, so. It's a lot. Phil, to ask executives and coaches maybe coming here to learn another language, they got a lot to do, their busy schedule. I think it's a lot. I mean, to force that on someone. Then you could say that, well, if you're going to take a job with the Habs, you got to think, well, I better learn French. And I don't disagree with either one. So who knows? Let's see. Game is 7:30 tonight. Yes, game is 7:30, which is why my live stream for the game, the Hangout, is starting at 7:30. You may have noticed if you look for it. But yeah, the game is 7:30. Furious Flea. My dog's had a few of those. RPM, PKN, his contract needed to go. Back then, yes, yeah, the contract is what needed to go, I think. Yeah, I guess RPM, we both just said pretty much the same thing there. Battle of the bottom feeders today. Yep. That's fine. Well, you're Spanish. It was probably a little bit easier Spanish to learn French, no? Although the pronunciations are so different, right? Spanish, you don't have so many, if any, silent pronunciations, where French, a lot of things are silent. Dixon, yeah, I mean, Eddie, and it's undisclosed, so we have no freaking idea what it is. And I mean, he should be back. I think he was supposed to be back by this coming week. So I don't know. It's very mysterious. Hey, Rich J. Hey, Matt Outdoor. So I don't know if anybody knows. I don't know. Has it been announced? Because it said undisclosed. So I don't know if anyone could possibly know what it is. The only thing I had heard, I do believe early on that I thought it was a lower body injury, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Since it's undisclosed, I guess maybe they just never disclosed it. Renault, I don't know that I agree with that. Bergevin had a bad reputation amongst the players. If you go back to the PK signing, I mean, that's how many years ago now that, I don't know, the way they talked about Bergevin, I don't think he had a bad reputation with them. So I don't know. That's basically, I think what you're doing there is you're just piling on after the guy got fired, and I don't think that's fair. There's nothing that showed players didn't like him, and he was passionate and about his players and loved his players. And so I think that's very unfair of you to say that. Kelly, yeah, I hope they have the same motivation to play that way, considering everything that's happened. They've got an opportunity against a team that, on paper, they should beat, and to get their second win in a row, first time this season. So, yeah, Renault, I want to say you don't like Bergie, that's it, but I don't think it's fair to say some of these things. You have no way to know that. No way, unless you're Renault Lavoie. And if you are, don't know what you're doing watching my live stream. So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't buy that. Rich J, yeah, not just French. He's got to be bilingual. He will be training though. He's not just going to sit at his desk. He's going to train under Gordon. He will learn. He will. I mean, that's the point. They're not just hiring a token guy. That would be dumb, first of all. But will he have the power of normally like a GM would? No, I don't think so. It's Gordon that's going to make the final decisions. Hey, Yukon. Yeah, RPM. That I mean, there's some truth to that, right? Conservative lawyer players did not hate MB. Hey, Max, been a while, Max. Thanks, I appreciate it. Hopefully, there's going to be a new computer in my life really soon. Well, soon, and I'm going to have a green screen, and I'm hopefully going to show, sometimes the room, sometimes be like I'm at a location. I don't know. I'm going to have fun with it, but hopefully that's going to happen. Knock wood. It looks like it's going to happen soon enough. Randy N, I would think you can write both of those guys off. Luongo, I think, is not that it's a joke, but I don't think that's serious. Patrick Waugh, think about it. He's a very strong ego, strong guy, strong character, strong will, wants to get what he wants done, stuff like that. I don't think that's going to mesh well with Gorton. I don't think Gorton's hiring a guy like Patrick Waugh. I really think you can consider Patrick Waugh not coming here. Babe, I know. I'm not going to rehash that now. And by the way, he couldn't really say anything that he had a deal in place. He couldn't really talk about it until it happened. So there is that, but it is what it is. But I don't really want to go over that. Baby, again, I don't think a guy like Brodeur or anybody like that, I don't think we're going to get that. I think I really think the serious name is Matthew Darsh, Martin Madden Jr. I think there's a couple. I just don't think those bigger names are. No, I just don't think so. RPM, I agree with that one. Renault, that I'll agree with you. I kind of feel that way too. I think this should be their first two wins in a row. I have a feeling tonight. So yeah, Randy. I don't think I think everything seen about Luongo. Wait, does that? Am I getting the right comment? Yeah. I think it's. I don't think that's a serious. Um, I don't think it's serious with Luongo. That's a good point, Habs Guru. Maybe the Carolina Montreal feud now is over with the management group change. Conservative lawyer, yeah. I mean, I don't think Law's going to want to work with a guy like Gordon. Randy, and no, I've heard no new names. First, let's get Gordon. Let him get here. It's gonna take. He should be here by Tuesday. Let the. There's no rush. This season's lost. It doesn't matter what they do. They're not getting the playoffs this year. It's not happening. So there's time. Max, it's funny. I would have said Daniel Briere is not a serious one, but I saw Eric Engels put out that Daniel Briere is actually probably one of the more serious candidates for the GM job. That is apparent. That I saw that today. So I don't know. I would have thought maybe not, but apparently it is. How about former player agents? What, as GM? No, they're not going to go that way. Why can't Carbo be the GM now? There's no reason, but he's never done the job before. At his age, I don't know that he wants to start by being a GM now. I've never heard him mentioned, but no, there's no reason why. But his name's never been in the running for GM. We need a lottery? Yeah, well, I have a feeling we'll see some moves that are going to get us some first round picks. We'll see. We'll see if he can get us in that position where we can possibly get a lottery pick. Oh, wow. It is going to be an interesting offseason, Kelly. I do believe. More interesting than we kind of thought or knew that kind of would be. Now we know this could be a very interesting next full calendar year. for the Habs, or more than that. Oh, he inherited a great team in 2012. I'm not saying there were no good players here, but to say a great team in 2012, I don't know about that. Oh, definitely, you definitely are. You don't like Bergie, definitely. Carbo, Nyland mentioned Carbo today. That's cool. Well, I thought as coach, I've been mentioning Carbo as coach. I hadn't thought to mention him for GM. Yeah, but RPM, first of all, I don't think Gorton would want somebody like that anyway. I don't think so. That just makes the job harder. I think he's going to pick a guy that he knows he can kind of mold in the right way he wants to. Yeah, you can count. I mean, just you can pretty much count Patrick Roy out. He's out. Come on. I can't see Patrick Roy being there. I'm surprised that, what considering that, you saw what they did. I'm surprised you guys are still talking about it, that Patrick Roy would be. I would think you'd give up on that. All right, so I think I'm going to go because it's 20-7. So don't forget the game starts at 7:30. So don't forget that. Yeah, I mean that's it. Matt should be here, and he's going to do the play-by-play. I do the color and commentary, and we have hopefully a good time. And maybe we'll get a second win in a row, first time this season. So yeah, so we'll see you there. Hopefully, you guys will all be there. Thanks for being here tonight. I really appreciate you guys being here for the pregame show, and I will see you in 45 minutes. So take care till then. Thanks for being here. Stay safe and peace out. And see you then, everybody. Yeah, my meds are kicking in.